Hello Dice Nation. Today we're going to be talking about dice. This is a generic D20 from a D&D set that I got a while back. It'll be used as a baseline test, just as a generic cheap dice. We'll be comparing it to the Artisan Dice Teflon D20. It's supposed to be made out of Teflon material, so it absorbs vibration and rolls a little quieter, bounces and rolls a little bit less, so it doesn't go flying across the table. And their second wind dice, which is made out of a elastic polymer that is supposed to bounce more for more randomization if it lands on the vertices and hop up. So, spoilers and summaries. I did notice this dice had less travel across the table. It usually stopped rolling sooner than the baseline control dice. I could not notice very much difference in the second wind dice. It could be that it's a little bit heavier than this, but I noticed I had less travel. It did hit on vertices. It did have significant bounce, and it rolls very well, and it seemed to work very good. They have videos on their website that do show like a significant second and third bounce that are much higher than their control test, so I could just be doing it wrong, or comparing it against just a very bouncy dice. So I'll probably be doing just a standard drop test from a height, that way I don't have any kind of roll or different variables in there. I don't want to roll into a tray because it limits on how far you can move and how fast, and same thing with a tower. So this is going to be standard, just like that. Yeah, I'll do a couple tests with a little bit of spin on it. Okay, I did a bunch of rolls earlier as well, and it's not very scientific, but typically I do notice the Teflon dice stops rolling half a second to a second before my baseline dice, and it usually has less travel. There are a couple variables and flukes of just how I roll it or drop it or how it hits that it will go a significant distance, but in the average number, just from observation, the baseline dice does have a farther travel distance and a longer bounce time. As far as quietness, I can't notice very much difference. Again, not using any kind of instruments or actual science. Maybe it's slightly quieter, but this is a hardwood table and it's hollow underneath. There's nothing, so both have a very loud sound. It might be slightly more muted. It's still very perceptible and still pretty loud, but it might be more of a muted, duller sound, slightly. But that is a quick demonstration of those two. And now to swap to the second wind. And I couldn't really notice very much difference between these two, but we'll let you see for yourself. And with a little bit of spin. again, it's a good dice, nothing wrong with it. I just can't notice significantly long bounces. I have seen videos that the company made with like a slow-mo cam, and it did seem very demonstrably more bounce than what they were using as a control test. So it could be my process, surface, or the dice I'm comparing against. But it's a good dice. It rolls well. I love the look on it, so I have no issues with it. But in my very limited control test here, my naked eye, I really couldn't tell that much of a difference. But it does seem random. It does bounce very well. I do quite like it. But there you go. That was the Teflon and Second Wind comparison dice test. So thank you for watching.